Hey guys, my name's Steph. I'm Botanist Cool. Today I'm here with the Ace Attorney expert herself,
Katie.
Katie! Today we are going to be playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles 2, whatever the second one is called. Resolve, there we go. I thought it was Redemption for a second, like. And we are going to the best part of this game. My personal favorite character so far in this case. We're gonna go see Madame Tuspel's. Tuspel?
I say to spell because it's like to sew.
Yeah. That's a good point. And of course...
Is clearly what the wax figures are based off of.
Yeah, it's like Madame Tussauds like wax figurine museum or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But the music's
I went
also
there
really
once, or I went to a display of it once on a school trip.
How could you do that? Like, not.
I think they had like some in New York.
No. What I mean is like, am I the only one who gets absolutely skeeved by wax figurines? Like, I look at them and it feels like they're staring into my soul, waiting for me to turn into wax and melt away.
That's cool. I don't feel that. Question: do mannequins also bother you?
A little bit, a lot. Mannequins, dolls, and wax figures.
That's like a specific fear. I don't have that fear.
Mannequins, dolls, and wax figures, and here's how the scale goes, right? The scale goes mannequins on the bottom, least afraid of those, right?
So you're more afraid of like Barbie.
No. So action figures. All right. So action figures and Barbies, etc. Toy dolls, very lowest rung. Then we have mannequins. They can be life size, whatever, and like the art dolls, like those are. Art dolls go with the toy dolls actually. So art dolls, toy dolls, all at the bottom. Then we have mannequins. And most of those go up on the second level. Like, you know, if we're doing like a tier list, like F tier fear is dolls and art figures. Like D tier is going to be the mannequins. C tier is when we get into like, I'm not legitimately scared of, but like it's kind of a little creepy still to see all like the haunted dolls, like you see on the Haunted Doll Watch from like my brother and me, those kind of dolls, right? Then there's wax figures in B tier, because wax figures, like, you know that's not Abraham Lincoln because he's dead, but at the same time it looks like Abraham Lincoln, you know what I'm saying? And then in A tier, you have porcelain dolls that are the fucking most terrifying thing. They make those eyes look so realistic, but it's just a soulless doll that wants to trap you in the void of its head by sucking whatever essence is in your body out of you.
No, I don't have that fear, even slightly.
I feel like if I went to like a Ripley's Believe It or Not or a wax figurine with Katie, I'd be like, oh my god, this is so freaky, and she'd be like, that's rough, buddy. It's like I'm drowning. She reaches her hand out, gives me a high five, and fucking takes it away. How are you?
I feel like if we don't go like, and then so like it'd be like a sliding scale from Elijah down to you.
Yes, Elijah loves dolls and shit like that. He does, and I'm like, how the fuck do you do it? How are you so sure the eyes are even real human eyes? That's the thing, you don't know.
Well, the thing is I'm quite sure that they're not human eyes.
But how do you know?
100% sure.
How do you know?
Because they would have rotted out if they weren't.
But what if they were preserved in like lacquer?
I feel like it's still like if you preserve something in like lacquer, does it still not like decay at all?
I'm pretty sure it will, yeah. I'm pretty sure that unless it's like a fossil or a bone and like it's just like fleshy meat stuff like the eye, yeah, I'm pretty sure it will. You can just,
In any
you
case,
can just
no,
say you proved my
there's
point
no-
wrong. It's fine.
You know, I mean, only specific porcelain dolls would even like slightly give me like the heebie-jeebies.
Any porcelain doll from me, I hate them.
I think some of them are really pretty and cute.
No. Actually, S tier doll fear is this one specific doll one of my uncles had in his New York apartment that I saw in like 1997, and it just kept me up all night. It was a stupid little wooden doll I wouldn't be afraid of now, but my memory plays it as the most terrifying thing ever. That is my S tier doll fear. I've never seen it again, and I've probably seen something even like it since then, and I'm completely fine with it, but the memory is S tier fear, because I could not go to sleep for 4 hours as that thing watched over me in the guest room. Why
did you not just take it down and hide it?
Because it's my uncle's house, that'd be rude.
If it was me, I would have like put a blanket over it, or like like that's what I do when I feel like something's staring at me. I just like put something over it, like goodbye.
Listen, you're smarter than 7-year-old me, okay?
Fair. I don't know how I would have reacted when I was 7, but even then, like, yeah. I don't know. Dolls do not scare me.
I hate them so much. Except I can deal with the action figures. Porcelain dolls and wax figures are just like the worst. All right.
Wax figure I could kind of understand, because that like really I could see how that could fall into the uncanny valley for some people. Not for me. Like for me, I'm just like, oh, that's cool, and like, but like logically, I see how it could be that way.
Yeah.
Then porcelain dolls, I'm just like, that's like a step down from the uncanny valley.
No.
Like
those sort of step up, dude. Those are so creepy.
Yeah, it's like they're not like they clearly can't pass as humans, so they don't fall into the uncanny valley.
But like, think about it like this, right? If you look at a porcelain doll, it's like seeing something.
Looking at a porcelain doll.
It's like seeing something try to be human to trap you. It's like a mimic, right? Like, if I ran a D&D campaign, all the porcelain dolls.
Born in like the 1800s, you would fall for the camera steal your soul bit.
But porcelain dolls are the exact opposite of technology. They're just these porcelain dolls that look like humans. Cameras don't look like humans. They're tools.
You're right. Dolls are even less mystical than cameras.
But dolls are creepier. They steal human souls.
You would, if we were in the like whenever cameras first came out, you'd be like, fucking with some black magic, it slowly appears there like it's leeching out of your soul. It's an exact image, and it's terrifying, is what you would say.
If I was alive at the time the camera came out, I would be saying, oh my god, these porcelain dolls are so fucking creepy. I feel like they're about to steal my soul.
And that camera, I know, absolutely stole my soul, and you would finish.
But the porcelain dolls are still there. That's all I'm saying. The porcelain dolls are still there. They're still on my top.
Listen, I'm not saying it would change your opinion on porcelain dolls. I'm saying you would also be terrified of cameras.
No, because I'm not terrified of VR. That's the new equivalent. I'll go into VR chat and be a kawaii anime protagonist. Gosh, it's so long since I've been in VR chat. I don't fucking remember what it was. We should go on to the game now.
I guess so. I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Like, it's just not a fear I get, I suppose.
Yeah. We did spend 6 minutes talking about how creepy dolls are, and the fact that I am just completely right on that, but Katie somehow is immune to it because she has, like, superpowers.
Probably because I had dolls as a kid, actually.
I had action figures, and I even had a few like Bionicles.
Yeah, but you're not afraid of. Yeah, but you're not afraid of action figures.
Yeah, my grandmother.
In the same way, I'm not afraid of dolls.
Wait, where would I put like the little like you know the little cherished memory like cherub things? Precious memories. You remember the precious memories?
Nope.
You don't know what they are? Look up precious memories.
I think you brought them up in a D&D. Oh wait, hold on.
I did bring them up in a D&D campaign. Holy shit!
Oh, I think some of these. I think my parents might have had something like some of these. Some of them. I don't know. I'm getting a wide variety of results on Google.
Oh my god! Yes, I did bring up a D. What was the context of me bringing up? Like I know, like I had someone making precious memories. Or someone had a collection.
He was making precious memories and we smashed the entire room.
Dracula had a collection of precious memories and you all destroyed it! I can't believe
You sent the two chaotic neutral people, one of whom her pastime is smashing things, into a room of breakable objects.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh god, I can't believe I fucking made like okay. Back to this. We're finally doing it. You guys are finally playing the game. Did you make these? Did you make all these waxworks, Madam, to spells? 2 spells?
I did. I am the 3rd generation of waxwork artisans, you know. Hold on, I gotta
take a second to go back into her voice.
Yeah, I can't jump between these voices. Hold on. Reno, gosh. It was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family.
You see, like she's about to say, it was my grandmother who began the tradition in my family. Kidnapping people off the streets and turning them into dolls and wax mannequins. Like, that's what she's about to say.
For sure. Her fortunes were checkered, living through the turbulent times of the French Revolution as she did.
She took the heads of the people from the guillotine to make her first wax figurines.
That is when she acquired the savoir-faire that leads to the astonishing life-likeness. All these waxworks really do look as though they're alive. In fact, they look more alive than Hurley.
Guys, she's pretty.
What you see exhibited here represents the most atrocious of London's criminal past. All the waxworks were created in the presence of the real people on which they are modeled.
Oh, okay.
In the hours imminently following their execution. That is the secret to the extraordinary life-likeness.
I told you she has something to do with the corpses. She has them in her house. I can tell. That sounds terrifying.
All walks of life have similar challenges, I'm sure.
I'm wondering, could I work in a morgue if I tried? Yeah, I think I could.
You can do whatever your heart pleases.
I don't know if my heart pleases to work in a morgue. I was just curious if I think I'd have like the ability to withstand working in a morgue.
To carry out one's trade par excellence, one must go. I don't know. Par excellence. One must go to extraordinary lengths.
What if she eats the corpse? I don't think she would. I think she just turns the corpse into wax mannequins and that her skeleton for the figure is literally the skeleton of the person.
My exhibits are a reflection of society. I create only that which the public wishes to see.
Who wants to see Hurley? Why couldn't the public have wished for something less horrifying?
Do not fear.
Sorry?
This room is the only one in the museum with such a macabre theme. I do hope you'll explore. There are models of famous singers, actors, politicians. Something for every taste, I hope.
It was Iris who dragged me straight in here, come to think of it.
Sorry, perhaps I should have eased you into things.
She's the 10-year-old listening to the true crime podcast in like today's day and age, and she's like in the middle of fucking like middle school. That's 10-year-olds.
She's not
right?
even in middle school.
She's in elementary school. Fucking like
I should write all these mysteries with her.
Yeah.
Most of which are murders.
Is Shakespeare's wax figure in the trash room? I hope so. I love Iris's vibe because she is just like the 10-year-old 5th grader who's like, Miss Stevens, can you repeat what you said about this really important algebra thing? I wasn't paying attention because I was listening to like the fucking Donner incident on my podcast again. All about true crime and murder. The Great Detective Waxwork, let's go! What's the situation with that?
Ah, my temporary waxwork model. He approached me some days ago, you see, with a business proposal.
Oh, what sort of proposal? My dear madame, what these boss exhibits need is the addition of a world-famous great detective. No, that figure's the real Sholmes. No, it's definitely not the real Sholmes. That's definitely just a wax figure. We can just beat the shit out of the wax figure and it'll interact like an animatronic.
Or words to that effect.
Huh.
Naturally, I am well aware that Mr. Sholmes is widely known in London as a talented detective.
Nah, he's not a great detective. It's great to What if it's Connor reading a book and drinking Scandinavia? It's a great detective, actually. He's very specific about it.
Yes, the creme de la creme. So I was keen to come to some arrangement with him, of course. But sadly, we were unable to agree terms.
And he's still working for you? Yo, let's go. Let me guess, someone wanted to charge an exorbitant price for his services. For mere £500, I will dive into your cauldron of wax this very moment. No, Charles! Oh my god.
Or words to that effect.
Mr. Sholmes might have overdone us with the sales pitch.
Regrettably, the museum has a shortage of funds at the moment due to unforeseen circumstances.
Oh?
So we came to the current arrangement instead.
Surely he doesn't really need to do what he's doing though, does he?
I would think not, but he was very insistent.
I have 50 shilling problem that must be resolved by the morning.
Or words to that effect.
I do like the idea of to spell here, just like Sholmes is going fucking insane in front of her, and she's just kind of like half zoning out, waiting for like the important keywords of what he's saying.
Like me!
And she's just like, yep. £500, no. And like 20 minutes later, she's just kind of staring. And he finally says something sensible, she's like, yep. Going missing, oh my god. Yeah, people are going missing while Sholmes is here just kind of like fucking posing with bottles.
It's the pawnbroker, that's what it is. He must have something to redeem.
Thank you for the luck, I'm chip. Oh shit! I just dropped everything. Oh no. Oh
Oh dear.
no. I just dropped like everything. MJM, thank you very much for the stretch and the hydrate. I do sincerely appreciate it. I'm gonna give you a quick shout out as well. I hope you're doing very well. I wonder what these circumstances are, besides obviously like the Great Fair or whatever it is that's happening. But that was a new thing. Like, they knew about the Great Exhibition for a long time, so that's not unforeseen. Unless you just like moved here yesterday and was like, I'm gonna make this wax figure museum yesterday. Ah shit, the Great Fair, beans, you know what I'm saying? I wonder, can I ask you something?
Bien sûr.
I'm just curious, is anything going on in the museum at the moment? Some kind of incidents, perhaps? Oh, she's gonna take a knife and kill us. Don't ask her. We're gonna die. We could leave this one alone, Rinosuke.
Whoever suggested such a thing to you?
You did. Oh, well, it was, your he fucking yeeted! Your temporary waxwork over there who mentioned to me a little... The bastard. He disappeared. I'm gonna assume it's Sholmes. Told you he was the real Sholmes. Yeah, no, we saw him last one. Like we saw him last episode. I don't know if you were here for this one, Chip. But last episode we were actually interacting with him while he was hiding in there the entire time. I thought you were just digging around with us. A wax model is a work of art, not some tawdry object for trade. Ah. There he is. There you are.
Viewing the exhibit again when you should be working. Do you wish to be melted down?
My dear Madam to Spouse, save your reprimands, there are more pressing concerns. The wax can wait. It's our ideas about your current problem we must throw into the melting pot instead. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police. No, I went off after you finished talking to Gina. Oh yeah, no. So yeah, last time in the thing, like we actually came here to see Sholmes, and he was pretending to be a model, and we just kept like literally just
kicked him in the shin.
We literally just kicked him in the shins to be like, wow, this is like really lifelike, and Iris just kept kicking him over and over, and he just
kicked him once, and then turned around, and he just kept bowed over in pain. It was super funny.
It was so fucking funny. Personally, I would advise you not to involve the police.
Why ever not?
She's turned as white as a sheet. Because you have at your disposal a great detective whose services you may employ for a mere 50 shillings. Though please be aware that I prefer no. I insist upon payment in advance. You bastard.
Very well. Let us see if the great detective is able to live up to his name, shall we?
Before I engage my analytical process, I must ask you to clarify something. What, pray, is behind the curtain?
That is the to spell special exhibit. There is an extra charge to see it.
Ah, the special exhibit in the House of Horrors. It depicts a special killer, then, I presume. Would you be so kind as to draw back the curtain, I wonder?
Ah, absolutely none. There is nothing amiss behind there.
Nothing amiss, madame. What about the arm protruding ominously from under the curtain?
Ah.
I strongly encourage you to allow me to see what lies beyond, before the situation worsens.
Yes, very well. I will draw back the curtains, but only a soup con?
A soup con? I see the accent mark there. I don't know how you're like supposed to pronounce it though. If we have any French people who speak French and do French things like baguettes and what have you, and I didn't just extremely offend just now, please tell us in the chat. I probably
I
offended.
took French once upon a time. I remember none of it.
Ooh, a grave. Yeah, cool. I must confess I peeked behind the curtain earlier. The Spell special exhibit is a very bleak graveyard scene indeed. 139. And yet, somewhat surprisingly, the waxwork killer one would expect is nowhere to be seen. What does strike one, however, is the portly gentleman lying peacefully on the back on this floor. That just reminds me of every fucking, like, Harvest Moon mayor ever. Specifically the one from Animal Parade. well then, perhaps Mr. Sholmes, that man on the floor is the ruthless killer himself. I'm afraid not, my dear fellow. He's a perfectly ordinary London gentleman. Not even waxwork. Wait, what? What? It's just a fucking dude? Wait, it's just a dude? It's just a dude? What? As skillfully many these wolves are, they are always distinguishable from real human beings. So allow me to present my two conclusions. The first is a sizable business transaction has been taking place at this special exhibit.
Why would you say that?
And the second is that the aforementioned transaction is linked to a serious crime.
Oh!
She looks as pale as a candle wax.
I don't understand.
So, Madame Tuspels, as you've agreed to my fee, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and the temporary exhibit at work. Let's go! Dance induction! This is back to you to see Schultz in pain from the kick to the shins. How'd you like that, Jip? To begin, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in this museum. Oh, the answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes protruding helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some 200 pounds.
That is all my own money.
So what does this large sum of money reveal? Not as much as the involuntary glance you cast it would seem, Madame Tuspels. Yes, the answer lies within your eyes now full. The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed by that public notice. Oh, okay. Waxwork for sale, your business has its hard times, it would seem. It was very funny there, it was. In short, you sold the infamous killer, the centerpiece of your special exhibit, for the sum of 200 pounds.
Mom!
Now let us explore the next curiosity of which we are presented. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? Is this the goodest boy?
No.
Oh, okay.
You will know on sight who the goodest boy is.
Okay, just making sure.
And I don't know if we'll get to them because I might be mixing up when they appear. It might not be until after the first court day.
Alright, well, let's see. It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madame, keeping secrets does not appear to be in your forte. What dealt the man with such a shocking blow was, of course, the 200 pounds. She has knives on her side. She could have stabbed him. It appears that you twisted this gentleman around your little finger most effectively.
What are you suggesting?
He rationally agreed to purchase the wax figure for the sum of 200 pounds. Only when he came to hand the money over did it occur to him what an extraordinary amount he was paying, but the money was no longer in his hands. And the result, the scene we see before us. He collapsed in shock. Buyer's remorse, something I have felt many a times. Yes, the killer special exhibit fetched a killer price. You can only pray the gentleman's dreams are not plagued with regret. Oh shit, topic 2, okay.
I come to make an announcement. Shadow the Hedgehog's a bitch-ass motherfucker.
The question that arises then is what has become of the waxwork that changed hands? Let's consider the problem for a moment. You cannot. Oh.
You cannot possibly.
What really strikes me about this conundrum is the young man standing over there. What? Is this not a wax figure as well? Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. What? This is worn by the police as meant as a secret sign to the force that a crime is being perpetrated. Yes, this young man is an undercover policeman, currently investigating this museum. I know him well, in fact. It is Sergeant John Clay. What?
What are you talking about?
This man's quite a celebrity. He received triple accolades at last year's policing awards.
But...
Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him. The one dressed as a Bobby. The one that's literally a Bobby. With a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle. Almost, in fact, as if he were a waxwork.
Yeah, but you...
Your reaction only confirms that suspicion, madame. I noticed that at once, of course. Observe. 3 pence? But the sign that's proves whether or not the old man's wallet is obvious price. Wait, what? Oh, the scarf is 3 pence. The man is not 3 pence. Okay. 3 pence? A tragically low price, you might say. Though perhaps the going rate for aging waxworks riddled with cracks. And yet you sold it to the portly gentleman for an exorbitant 200 pounds. The sort of plucky behavior I'm sure is to attract the attention of the Scotland Yard. Isn't it so, madame?
I do not... Mr. Sholmes, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes, the waxwork you sold has already been seized by the police and remains in their custody as we speak. The old man must be reunited with his grave in the special exhibit and not a moment too soon. Was it the man with the scarf on? I fucking don't know, man. I feel like he's just trying to hide. But I thought it was Roly and Polly from like a little while ago. This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. I hate this. She's like, I'm gonna fucking murder you. See, I've stunned you all into silence.
You have, Hurley, you have. And you've obviously upset this young lady in the process. Her cauldron looks awfully hot.
If I could just bring up 1 point, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, the notorious Naruto, 1 point! I'm all ears, my dear fellow. According to your deduction, then, the special exhibit featured this old policeman. So that would mean that he's the particularly ruthless murderer, wouldn't it? The killer policeman, Otomo. Mole, 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 mole. Sorry? It was a mysterious series of murders that rattled the capital only last year. The police rushed to the scene every time, only to find the culprit had disappeared into the aether.
And it turned out the culprit was a policeman himself, a senior officer by the name of Otomo.
So you mean that's who the sinister-looking man there is supposed to be? Indeed, it's a particularly grim face, is it not? Unforgettable, in fact. Yes, I remember that odious countenance only too well. But is 200 pounds a lot of money for a wax model? It would be enough to afford one of the latest steam carriages, if that puts things into perspective. So it's quite a lot, then.
Is there anything else you wish to add? Before I melt you down.
That bubbling wax is looking more and more ominous.
The smell of all that molten wax is starting to worry me.
Mr. Sholmes did more or less just accuse her to her face, so I think I might have to call on your assistance here, Iris, if that's alright? To make some minor corrections to the Great Detective's great deductions.
Of course it's alright. We'll soon set things straight.
Well, let's get started then, shall we? Before Madame Dispels vents her anger. All over Mr. Sholmes. Just what I was waiting to hear, my dear fellow. I waited for you specifically to come here so I could accuse her to her face and not say anything proper like. That's why I told you not to come here specifically, so I could wait for you to come here. My plan is genius.
And it worked like a charm.
And it worked like a charm. So, Madame Dispel, in accordance with our agreement, you shall now have the pleasure of seeing this famously great detective and temporary exhibit at work. You were... Oh my god. Course correction. So, now you'll see me at work. This is my real work. I was quiet quitting before. To begin with, we must ask ourselves what exactly is afoot here in the museum. The answer is revealed by the bundle of banknotes retrieved so helpfully from your bag. In my estimation, some 200 pounds.
That is all my own money.
So, what does this large sum of money reveal? Ah, not as much as the involuntary glance you cast, it would seem, Madame Dispels. Yes, the answer lies where your eyes now fall. The significance of the 200 pounds is revealed at the public notice. She definitely looked in this direction, it's true.
But I'm not sure she'd sell any of her waxworks, even for 200 pounds.
No. Oh?
She must pour her heart and soul into the making them, don't you think? Over and above the wax. If it were me, I wouldn't sell them for anything.
For that much money, I would, but it sounds like that makes me a bad person. Well, anyway, I wonder if the 200 pounds could have something other significance.
Let's follow that furtive glance again and see if there's anything else that could explain it.
I do want to see the public notice and read it real quick. Waxwork for sale. Would anyone really buy models of mass murderers?
I think I'd rather have 200 pounds in my pocket.
Exactly, you could buy one of those brand new types of steam carriage. That's what I'd spend it on if I had it, no question.
Oh, I'd buy all the herbs in the world.
There must be another explanation for the money. Then you keep looking. I think it's the portly man. There's only 2 choices of things to pick, actually. It's them.
I forget. Can you, like...
I can't move.
You can't do the toggle.
No.
Okay.
It seems this well-dressed gentleman is alive after all, just not alive and kicking. And he's not a waxwork or a model of a mass murderer.
I'm not sure I'd pay £200 for him.
I don't think that man's up for sale!
Well, anyway, it was a silly place to put him. Other museum visitors could easily trip.
Good point. I don't think the man was put there on purpose either. We did shift gazes a little bit. There's literally nothing else except this man, so... Yeah. This gentleman on the phone must see us is 200 pounds. All we need to do is wake him and we'll have our answer. With no need to deduce anything. Shirking of that nature will hasten the end of the world, Mr. Naruhodo. The end of the world? And there is a distinct possibility that the man has no knowledge of the money anyways. So do you cause the destruction of the planet or continue the deduction process? The choice is yours!
I love it. Don't you know you might destroy the world?
You better get back to saving the world then. That's funny.
Judging by appearances, this man and the £200 are in no way related at all.
The problem must be in the wrong place at the wrong time, it seems. But there's no doubt the man with the spells did react to what Mr. Sholmes said. And she automatically looked over this way and must tell us something, I'm sure.
Let's have more of a look around.
This is kind of really weird, actually. Like, there's... Literally, I can't find anything else here. Shadow the Hedgehog is a bitch-ass motherfucker. Can we read this again, I guess? Yeah, okay, we already read that. What does this sign do? This sign does nothing?
Are you sure you can't, like, toggle the view a little bit?
I'm trying. Oh, wait. Oh! There we go.
What's that getting pinned on the wall there?
Oh yes, let's see. Dear Madam to Spells, we've taken the prisoner from this room. The price for his safe return is £200. Have the money ready by noon on the 23rd of October.
What?
This is just like the sort of thing that's left behind when someone is kidnapped.
Yes, it's a ransom note.
Exactly. Alright. The significance of that £200 is revealed by that ransom note. Quite so, we must congratulate these criminals on their inventiveness, adopting a waxwork.
Oh.
£200 is no small ransom fee, and yet clearly you intend to pay it.
The model in question has special importance, so I put together all the money I have.
In summary then, the £200 you have in your handbag is ransom money. Now let us explore the next curiosity which we are presented. Who is the portly gentleman stretched out so peacefully on the floor? It would appear the man has suffered a severe shock, the cause of which is clearly known to you. Unfortunately, madame, keeping secrets does not appear to be your forte. What did the man such a shocking blow was, of course, the 200 pounds. So the waxworker was kidnapped. Where does that leave us in the terms of who this man is?
We could just ask him when he comes round.
Then the
I'm sure
world
it
will
cause
end.
the end of the world.
I think the point of this exercise is to understand the beauty of the deduction process, Iris.
Yes, you're right. Hurley's trying so hard. We mustn't let him down.
This is all just to appease him. Well, there's no doubt he suffered a shock, so that much seems clear, but in this case, what's Madame Dispel's trying to hide? Let's have a closer look around. Hey, Dynamite Donahue, thank you very much for the 10 minutes of no cursing, the hydrates, the primordial whooper, and all that good stuff. I'm gonna put that on right now. How are you doing, homie? Oh, shoot! Almost dropped it. I almost cursed there too.
That was so close.
That was I
thought you were instantly gonna lose.
I know, same here. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Good. We are playing some Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and Madame Dispels is very, very pretty. I do just want to emphasize that. I don't think I have yet. How you doing, Dynamite? I'm just here simping like, oh god, it's starting tomorrow. And Katie's just like, Steph, stop. Stop. Alright, so...
No, I'll out for her. She's very pretty.
She has a hand! Give her a hand, guys. So, she's got a hand. She's holding an extra hand. Hand of Madame.
This is just Madame Dispel's right hand, isn't it?
I don't know, is it? Yeah, it must be. I can clearly see her left hand after all.
Oh, but wait a minute. This is a left hand as well, look.
Don't say such creepy things, Iris, please!
And it seems very stiff, too. In fact, it's really hard. I'm poking it as we speak.
I love that as, like, Herlock is just, like, ding-donging around. How do you usually send literally nothing? That is wild, Dynamite Donahue. Hold on, wait, I'm gonna... Oh, it's a botanist bonk squish. I love it. Okay, now it's chilling. In fact, that's really... Yeah, I love how, like, he's just kind of ding-donging around there. Iris is just, like, kind of poking around, looking at things, you know, just like squeezing the weird random hand behind Madame Tussauds. Like, I love that idea. I love that idea. You mean it's made of wax? Or it's dead? To be fair, what, did we get to know what any of these knives are? I guess not. We'll present that. Put on the ink pack, we'll do Dynamite. What dealt the man a shocking blow, of course, was the waxwork hand. Oh, wrong one. Mr. Naruhodo, you have taken my voice, and I am grateful that you think I am such an inspiration. But indeed, it was a solid waxwork limb, one that could deliver a substantial blow.
How could you?
Ah, the hand protruding from the bottom of your cape. It ought to be a right hand, but closer inspection reveals that in fact it is a left hand.
Ah.
And somewhat masculine as well. In other words, it does not belong to you, madame. It is the hand of a waxwork model.
Ah.
Oh, shoot.
Some of the visitors to my museum can be troublesome.
I like she just admits I'm gonna beat the heck out of people.
They meddle with the exhibits and cause damage.
So you mean the arm?
Yes, this gentleman saw fit to try and remove it as a souvenir.
No small keepsake. Like taking the whole branch of a cherry tree when you go to view the blossoms.
I'm afraid I had to teach the man a lesson.
I guess you could say she's very well armed.
Alright, I'll give it to you. That was a good one.
You confronted the man and tried to take the arm back. And the result of the scene we see before us, it was knocked unconscious. At a point we may need to revisit later, but for the time being we have our conclusion. Boo! Oh, fight me, Chip. The killer of this exhibit has been kidnapped. Kidnapped. The question that arises is what became of the waxwork that changed hands. Hey Chaos, how you doing, bud? Let's consider the problem for a moment.
I've considered it.
I will hit you with this hand, Sholmes. What really strikes me about this conundrum is the young... What strikes me over this conundrum is the young man standing over there. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his neckerchief. According to Mr. Sholmes, the yellow neckerchief is a sign to other policemen that some crime is underway.
Way of communicating with his colleagues without revealing his identity, yes. It's a secret that's closely guarded by Scotland Yard.
And Mr. Sholmes didn't hesitate to give away.
Well, uncovering secrets is in any true detective's nature, of course.
Right. Anyways, judging from Madame Tespel's reaction to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, I think perhaps we might not have identified the man quite correctly. He's a lamp. Oh. What the? The man has a stub sticking out of his shoulder where his arm should be.
Ah, well that settles that then.
Right, this isn't a real person at all.
His entire arm's been ripped off from the shoulder down.
His arm's been... Of course, that's what ties in what we just found out. Who is this fellow? To find the answer, we need only observe his shoulder stub. No such boneless human walks this earth. Of that I can assure you. In other words, the man standing here, the young Sergeant John Clay, is in fact, defying all odds, a waxwork model. See, the remember it was you who concluded he was a real person in the first place, Mr. Sholmes. he's like, shut it, Naruto.
He has become quite a celebrity in London, being the winner of no less than 3 policing awards last year. I simply had to make a model of the man.
Naturally, what other explanation could there be? And it was the detective's arm that was pulled off on the man on the floor of the exhibit, wasn't it? Next, we turn our attention to the old man sat before him with a particularly unsightly visage. I've been watching closely and he hasn't moved a muscle, almost in fact as if he were a waxwork.
But you...
Your reaction can only confirm my suspicion, madame. Notice it at once, of course, observe. Also, a sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is the obvious price tag. A killer policeman called Automol, was it? Was he well known?
It was all over the papers last year, but I can't say I know what he looks like. It's a very low price, though. Threepence isn't much money.
Only enough for a few measly hours of gas in Mr. Gardebb's delightful lodgings, in fact! That's a really good callback. I like that. This is a serial killer taken from the special exhibit, is it? The waxwork that someone stole from the museum and tried to ransom 200 pounds. This crusty old killer policeman Automobile, really?
Perhaps we should have a good look around again and see if another idea crops up.
He's also wearing a yellow... I don't think this is a wax figure. Call me crazy. I don't think it's a wax figure.
Whatever could make you say that.
You know what? He's got a price tag on him, so maybe he is actually. I'll buy him! I don't believe it.
It's the secret sign that lets other detectives know some criminal activity is underway.
Yeah, it's a slightly strange choice of outfit. He was trying to go unnoticed.
Ah, he must be a detective disguised as a policeman.
Or a detective disguised as a wax model of a policeman.
It doesn't look like he's clever enough to think of something like that, though.
Damn. Perhaps you should try being a little more polite about him, Iris. That's brutal. Look at this! The old man's tapping his foot like crazy.
He seems to be fast asleep, though.
He's not tapping his foot consciously, you mean? It must be a twitch.
It must be a twitch.
Oh, never mind that. The point is the waxworks don't tap their feet.
Or twitch.
Look at his arm, too. We've seen a scarf like that somewhere else around here, haven't we? It's all the sign that instantly proves whether or not this old man is waxwork is his obvious twitch. Even the most realistic of waxworks don't exhibit a twitch, nor do they even stream on a Twitch, nor do they watch a Twitch. In other words, this splendid old man is in fact a genuine member of Scotland Yard. Slight shift in your choice of adjectives there, then. And there you have it. Well, Madame Tuspels.
Well, what? It was me who contacted the police and demanded that someone come in the first place.
He is clearly
He is clearly fatigued. He is sound asleep.
But then, what's this tag about showing a price of 3 pence? No, not the tag of the muffler, which the old Bobby purchased recently at the local market. I presume you've observed the scarf tied around his arm. Does that strike you, Mr. Naruto? Yeah, the secret sign that used by detectives to show that some criminal activity is clearly underway.
Of course, because as you know, there has been just such a criminal activity happening here. As you deduced from the very beginning, Detective.
So it would seem we finally arrived at the truth. The waxwork of the especially ruthless killer from the exhibit has been kidnapped. And Scotland Yard is already investigating. But the model's whereabouts remain a mystery. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this horrifying puzzle. But what has that solved? You have done nothing, Sholmes, except solve your idle curiosity and not the actual crime itself. It's like, ah, yes, I can find out there is a crime here, and I am curious about said crime. However, I will not solve said crime. Give me money, please.
All sorts of people visit my museum here. Men and women, old and young. Sometimes they drop in for just a short time on their way back from the pub. I welcome them all. But if anyone tries to damage my exhibits, I do not take it lightly. Anyway.
Oh, that's a cute little twirl.
Your great deduction was even more enchanting than I had been led to believe.
It was a pleasure, my dear madame. I'm gratified you enjoyed the spectacle. As for your rough customer, I've no doubt he'll regain consciousness shortly and return home. What concerns me more is the waxwork from the special display. It was indeed genuinely abducted.
Yes, tragically it was.
Then I would ask you to recount us the events surrounding the stolen waxwork. In such detail as possible, if you please.
Very well. But after I have told you what I know, I must insist that you return to your work.
The talent of a great detective can be put to better use, I feel, but as you wish. Yeah, Shamspear did it. Shamspear wanted that $1,000 or 1,000 pounds, and he failed to get that, so he had to take it for 200. 150 original, but you know, close enough, right? Tell us more about the stolen waxwork, please.
It was some days ago now, when I came in here one morning. I immediately noticed that a waxwork was missing from the special exhibit here. It is your most prominent display, so that's why the curtains were closed. And I found the ransom note in its place.
Cora must have broken in during the night and taken it then.
So this waxwork that was stolen, it was a model of some horrible criminal, I suppose. Of a particularly horrible criminal, in fact. The killer who left a more profound scar on society than any other, I would say. The Professor.
Hmm? Not a name I've heard of. I was expecting her to say, like, the Reaper of the Bailey, and that'd be, like, really funny. But, like, nope. So, Mr. Naruto, this seems the circle is complete. Sorry?
The Professor case happened at around the time I was born, didn't it?
Indeed it did, Iris. 10 years ago, a series of murders that rocked the capital. 10 years ago? Yes, that's exactly the time that Baron von Zix graduated from university, in fact. What? Surely he's not saying...
So the big event that changed Mr. Reaper's life.
As you surmised, it was the Professor's case. Who was this Professor then? Ooh, Van Z's song's here. He's always here. You get beaten the witch's hut, but nah, he's still there. There's a bat somewhere.
It was a series of gruesome murders that had all of London gripped in terror a decade ago. After 5 victims were killed, the man was arrested and put to death.
And now he's immortalized here in wax for all Londoners to admire and enjoy. Though, of course, he happens to be absent at present on the account of the abduction. But I don't understand. How is all this related to Lord Van Zix? He was murdered, Mr. Naruto. You're supposed to understand, my dear fellow. Why is it that the professors earned such infamy? The victims he chose. Some of Whitehall's finest.
What do you mean, Hurley?
Those murder professors were some of the highest members of the British aristocracy. Members of nobility, even royalty, sent shockwaves through the country's administration. Members of... Oh, wait, of course! What Professor Harebrained said. Lord Van Zieks is from a family with noble blood.
Oh gosh.
It was the 5th victim that led to the professor's arrest. The last of the killer's prey was a young noble by the name of Clint Van Zieks. No! I don't believe it! Van Zieks? I'm sure you could piece together the rest for yourself. In the wake of his older brother's murder, the young Baron Barak pursued a career as a prosecutor, and eventually became the Reaper we know today. I had no idea Lord Van Zieks has such a tragic past. Well, I'm afraid that's all I can say on the matter, for the time being at least. After all, I have work to do. Yeah, okay, asshole. As a waxwork exhibit.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm afraid I shall have to excuse myself as well.
Oh yeah, of course. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Well, none of our predicted scenarios have been analyzing. I've been analyzing involved you coming to visit me. Oh wait, who's this?
I could tell you, but
Hold on, give me a second. No,
there's some keywords that might help you guess here.
Well, none of the predicted scenarios have been analyzing involved you coming to visit me here. I don't think it's him, but just in case.
No.
Yeah! Oh. Wow, none of the predicted scenarios are probably coming here. It's been too long, it really has. I'm glad to see you back. It's been 10 years, and here we are, meeting in prison of all places. I can't forgive myself what happened to Mr. Assman. I just can't. I still can't believe it could happen. Tomorrow, the court will decide. Yeah. I have a young Easter man acting for my defense. He seems reliable enough, though. It was an accident, a terrible accident. He assures me I can prove it. I must warn you. Oh, I know. I've heard already. You're going to be prosecuting, aren't you? Yes. Since I returned to England, I've heard lots of stories. You okay, dude? Like, what the fuck? Barak, are you really... What? Never mind. I know you have my best interest at heart. My friend is on trial. I wouldn't trust anybody else. Of course, I fully understand. Thank you, Barak. Is it Baroque or Barak? Or Barak? I think it's Barak.
Might be Barrick? I don't know. Let's see.
Until tomorrow, then I'll see you in court. To be continued.
It might be Baroque.
Baroque.
Because it's derived from the word Baroque.
Maybe. Alright, here's what we'll do real quick. We're gonna take a quick break. Get water, use the restroom, all that good stuff. We'll be back in like 3 minutes. And yeah, sound good?
Alright, sounds good.
Alright guys, we'll see you in a bit, and then we're here for a little bit of the trial. Talk to you soon.
Bye guys.
Wait. Are the ads done? No, we got 48 seconds, so we're gonna... So here's a special 48 seconds for just the subs.
Really?
Yeah, there's like...
I'm on the stream and I don't see it at all.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Oh, it was 48 seconds so I can make more ads come up. Never mind then. I thought that was a really quick break. That I was like, wow, I thought we took a little longer than that, actually. Well, let's get back onto it, guys. That deduction didn't help us with anything for this trial. We're going into this trial with near nothing. I love how in this game specifically, a bunch of wild shit happens, and half of it is not related at all to, like, I can't remember what the other deductions or the last case were, because they were so unrelated or only related for, like, one specific clue. You know what I'm saying?
They were more related than one might think.
Are you sure? I don't remember them being, like, exceptionally related or nothing. What was the last ones?
Let's see. Shamps eating soap.
Right. Okay, you know, all right, fair. Nope, stop, fair.
I think was the last one.
Then what is this one? What does the spell have to do with any of this yet? Okay, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Can't believe it's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court.
Feels like it was only yesterday.
And I'm here, back at the Old Bailey. Oh, Mission Hour Hodo. Good evening, Professor Hairbrain. You guys love that redemption.
I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. Never found anything like it. It's crushing me.
I feel like that every time I'm here. That's gravity.
Now, this is Britain's highest court. But are you telling me it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure?
I think it's probably all in the mind.
Yeah, will you? Mission Hour Hodo? I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life! To save the secret of my super high voltage instantaneous contagious machine from the viewing public.
Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. Now, the establish that the explosion 2 days ago was nothing more than an unfortunate accident, and now it's manslaughter.
Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Really, justice will prevail.
My commiserations, Mr. Naruto. You appear to have been lumbered with the most tiresome cases here. Mr. Schultz, I didn't expect to see you here. It's like before noon.
That was very mean, Runo, leaving me alone at home with Hurley. It took me at least an hour to wake him.
That's me. That's me. Like, legitimately, I do put like a single alarm at 6:30 just so I can wake up by 7:30. And then I have...
Sometimes that doesn't work so hot for me.
I have the 6:30 alarm, then the 7, then the 7:05, then the 7:10, then the 7:15, then the 7:20, then the 7:25. And I still get up at like 7:40. I think that 90% of it though is just I don't want to go to work and I don't get paid.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyways, so.
I've been in a very bad slump today, but despite getting a late start, today was a better work day than most.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I actually enjoy my job. It just doesn't pay the bills.
Easy. Are you? Sherlock Holmes? Barry the platypus! Barry the great detective!
Got it. He's Doofenshmirtz from now on, guys. He's Doofenshmirtz. That's all I can do now.
Well, you see here, Patty.
Oh, wow. Wait, what? Are you kidding me?
Huh?
Did I just do a good impersonation?
Did you?
Oh.
It's been a while since I heard Doofenshmirtz, so I can't.
I thought they were pretty
vouch for
okay.
anything.
Chat, you tell me. All right, he's now Doofenshmirtz. That's it. I gotta do it. He's Doofenshmirtz. You don't know who Doofenshmirtz is? Indeed, I am he, Herlock Shlooms.
Oh, I heard all about your exploits even whilst living in Germany.
Ah, yes. Rant's magazine is on sale in Germany, too.
These first installments are sublime. Your introduction to the adventures of the Silver Blaze was wonderful.
Ah, yes, a memorable case indeed. It concerned a snake, if I seem to recall. Wrong one, bud. That was the speckled band.
No, that was the speckled band.
Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support. I'm sorry to support you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay. Ah. I have urgent business at Madame Tuspel's. You mean your waxwork job? No, the waxwork the waxwork abduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services. Oh, you're trying to get to the bottom of that ransom note, are you? The week's wages depend on it, as does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention. Oh, well, never mind then. I understand. Of course, with my skill of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter should be as easy as proverbial pie. I shall return forthwith. For till I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description.
Oh, then you must absolutely give it your full attention, Hurley.
I'm so hungry, Hurley. Quite, Iris, quite, but life is riddled with irony, you know. Whenever I give something my full attention, I have quite an insatiable desire for a pie. One of the universe's intraceable mysteries, you might say. Yeah, you sure?
Oh yes, quite absolutely. I totally understand.
Is someone a little starstruck? Hey, wish you the very best of luck, Professor Hairbrain.
Oh, why thank you.
Before I depart, Mr. Naruto, a word in your ear, if you please. What's this about? That voice doesn't match him at all? Oh, I was trying to. Oh, I thought I was having fun with the Doofenshmirtz voice. I mean, what voice does? What did I have from before?
I think a nerdy voice like this.
Anyway, I'll do whatever I want. Fuck the system. As you ever remarkably look grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you. As compelling as this super high voltage instantaneous kinesis as this may be, a practical implementation such as was attempted by the professor at the radio exhibition is quite impossible. But the professor said the demonstration was...
Herlock is like, I know we have fun here, gang, but let's set the law a little bit for expectations. Let's not have you going down rabbit holes. I know I have a compound that turns fun rainbow colors when you spray it on blood, but we gotta be serious here for a second. I know it's confusing.
Yeah. But the professor said the demonstration was a success. Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was.
I've read Professor Bunnybrain's paper about it too, Runo, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically.
So he's completely barking up the wrong tree. But how could an experiment have with no possibility of succeeding if fast succeed? That's contradictory. And it's that contradiction that'll be at the heart of the trial, I have no doubt. What's that supposed to mean? Now I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow.
See you later, Hurley. Well, it looks like you're on your own today, Bruno. But chin up, you can do it.
Oh, what about you, Iris?
Oh no, I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do.
I see.
It's going to be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is.
I'm terrified. Ah, that sounds ominous.
Gather the defense and defendant. Court is about to be in session. Make your way to the courtroom at once.
We're on our way. An experiment that the laws of science say can't possibly succeed, and a scientist who's convinced that it did. That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Rinosuke. That's the key to this case. What if the wax figure they stole was actually the dead body? Wait, who's the person who died again?
Mr. Asman.
Who was the person that the figure was made out of again? The professor, right?
The professor.
He was Professor Hairbrain's financial backer and the boss of a large firm. Okay, I was just thinking like perhaps he was the professor. Oh my god. Oh, Gina. I wonder if we're gonna see her again in trial. Mm.
Humana, 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 humana.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have new jurors today? The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready, my lord. I'm 6 months out of practice, and what's more? Aww.
He's become a ghost. I'm hallucinating.
Chisato's dead. I'm Mufasa Sato today. It's just my imagination, or does this air in here feel even more oppressive than usual? Mr. Rassman is a well-known financier, though that is merely the front for his diversive criminal activities. Because every member of the jury have been bribed by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go to extra lengths to keep their freedom.
See, I do like that it's not like you're the only one who can go head-to-head with Van Zeeks. Like, Van Zeeks, it's not an Edgeworth situation, or even worse, a Manfred von Karma, where he hasn't lost a case in 40 years.
Yeah. If that is how your lordship would describe the divine retribution, the fact remains that Mr. Assman's death was a direct result of the actions of the accused, Professor Hairbrain. Oh, that's new. I am most gratified to be selected to carry out this important civil duty, my lord. She's new.
You have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly. It sends shivers down my spine.
Fucking hell. Scientists made music on the tricks, got them trials, also nothing more than performances. And he's first. Scholars of the first retribution of science deserves to hang. Oh!
We have to listen to what's said on both sides of the fence and then, settle on one. That's it, isn't it?
This guy. No, don't take the gun down. Do not use the gun. Why is it that in every single case someone has a gun and I fear for my life, and we're not even in fucking America? God damn it.
It wasn't like this back in my day. It wasn't like this at all.
That's the police killer Ottoman look-alike again. He's exhausted as ever, it seems. At least we have 6 new people this time.
The budget was increased.
The budget was increased between trials in the game.
Well, you see, they didn't know that it would be you prosecuting, so they didn't pull out the same people again.
Yeah.
Or sorry, you defending, I should say.
Oh, sure. Took place at the Great Exhibition. Shortly after the opening.
Though the death toll could have been far worse, with the exception of the victim, no one was killed. Nevertheless, the dream of the science being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectators. At the heart of this incident is the technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world. The technology being demonstrated by the accused was described as high voltage instantaneous kinesis. It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam it instantly to another location where they are subsequently reassembled. Well, I don't believe it, that's for sure.
Assembling people with electricity. My goodness, how shocking.
Oh, the whole idea's absurd. Your bosses would never stand up to scrutiny.
I am in my word on the matter is considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is poppycock. His expert and Mr. Sholmes are in agreement. It's impossible. The prosecution would assert. It doesn't fucking matter. The accused instantaneous demonstration was a success. What?
What?
The professor's hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it's deemed to have merited a substantial research grant will be made available. The accused made use of the invention built on his new hypothesis to take Mr. Assman's life in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant. But... No buts! Mr. Assman is dead! This disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim. Gladly, my lord. Just wait a little while longer, bud.
It's time. His boyfriend is watching. From the defendant's chair.
Bailiff showed the first witness to the stand. Oh, Gregson and Harebrain. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. I was on duty at the demonstration the day in question and in charge of the following investigation.
Albert Harebrain, scientist.
Change his voice back to the stereotypical nerd. It was easier on my throat. You were born in England but have been carrying out research in Germany in recent years, correct?
Yeah, that's right. After graduating from university here in Britain, I went to work in Germany and made an amazing discovery. Which just brought me back here to demonstrate my credible hypothesis at the Great Exhibition. What you demonstrated is incredible, right? An incredible explosion. But the science is a success. The instantaneous kinesis worked. Everyone saw it. They must have done. Yes, it was a terrible accident. But my hypothesis was a success. Well, that much is undeniable, as shown in the photograph taken by the forensics investigation team. Sitting inside the crystal. That's right, my lord. It seems the victims ran straight into it. He was shot. I mean, yeah, he's got a fucking, like, chest wound on him or something. Stab wound to the chest. As the court heard, the victim incident was Mr. Odie Ashman. There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting aside them time being, what the voice? What is his voice?
Like Gumshoe, but not as.
Hey, it's me, Gumshoe. Okay, we're going back here. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting them aside, the what? Hey, I lost his voice. Hey there, sunshine. Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but put him aside for the time being. He was the man who financed the research for the experiment and the demonstration itself. Exactly. But couldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used in the demonstration? That's right. What voice was I going for him then? Yeah, that's right. It must be my spun machine, my poor spun machine. You saw it yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the wreckage thanks to that special dispensation of scientific equipment knacked malarkey. What? The wreckage? The wreckage? Fuck, I went I keep messing his voice up. Fuck, I keep messing someone's voice up today. Switching
between so many voices is rough, I get you.
Extremely simply, my lord. Isn't that right, witness? What? Sure, me? No, you're David. Yes, sir, it's a murder, plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete certainty. What? How could he possibly think that? And the court that went crashing through the crystal tower had a broken neck. I made a minor miscalculation. The angle of the beam projector, that's all. That was my mistake. But the post-mortem examination revealed another injury, a fatal wound. There was a lesion in his chest where he should have been stabbed by something straight in the heart. But the victim was killed before he went anywhere. And this fellow's the only one who could have done it. Shit. There's an autopsy report? It's up to date? Information I would really like to have heard from someone other than the judge! The coroner says that the death would have been instant from a wound like that. You could say that, in fact, that the victim was killed twice by the accused. No, I couldn't be further from the truth. I have the experiment plan document that was submitted to the security team. The victim stood himself inside something called the bird cage, ready to be beamed instantly. It was Maya Fey. To the second level of the crystal tower, about 25 yards away.
The experiment did not go according to plan, however. As the machine was put into operation, there was a large explosion. The blast caused the beam transmitter to point higher than intended. Accordingly, the kinesis resulted in the bird cage materializing in midair, from where it subsequently fell, crashing through the glass of the crystal tower's large round windows.
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean for this to happen. The machine was just too powerful. But honestly, really, I swear, it was just an accident, a terrible accident.
Unfortunately, that excuse can't save you. No, not considering the sharp murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart.
Murder weapon? What are you saying?
This autopsy report submitted to the court by the coroner. Coroner. Words.
Coroner. Coroner.
Coroner.
I think.
Thank you, coroner. The prosecution would like to enter it into the court record. I'm just like, fuck.
This guy's even more stooped over than anyone.
Oh, it's there in person, you know. I saw the whole Ludicrous performance. The only other person on the stage with Mr. Aspen was a disgraceful excuse for a scientist.
But really, by all accounts, it must have been him.
Hard to think otherwise, really. Oh yes, my lord. I need to focus here. It's been a while. I had to drink a little bit of water to wet the whistle. So the real question is, what happens if I get to the end? Who am I talking to? Am I just talking to myself or the ghost of Cosmo?
What?
You know how you get to the end of like a conversation and you drink more, thank you, Chip. And you when you get to the end of the cross examination, you have to like repeat it, and it's like, oh, here's something else. Like, here's your hint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I talking to?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I think it's just internal monologue.
So everyone knows exactly what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because you're Naruhodo and your thoughts are written on your face. It's so funny.
Are you suggesting that because he fell from a considerable height? Exactly, which highlights something else about this whole rum business. What's that? The fact that the instantaneous kinesis itself was a success. What? After the explosion, the gauge fell to the fellow inside, suddenly appeared out of nowhere midair. Remind us, Professor, what was the cause of fatal disaster? So the angle of the projection is critical, is it? And you calculated it yourself, personally?
Absolutely. The calculation is far too complicated for anyone but me to carry out.
Only you got it wrong, didn't you, sweetheart?
Yeah, that's right. That's the point. The calculation is so complicated that even I can make a mistake.
If people fall for that brazen confidence, I should try it. If he did that for his fucking case with what's his name? McGinnis. McGilded. Then he could have been like, yeah, listen, I mean, that case is so complicated, even I made a mistake. Judge, you can't take away my law stuff now, because even I can make a mistake.
I took into account the subject's height and weight and wind direction and ambient temperature. I considered every possible variable, so I didn't just understand how this could have happened.
Obviously, then you had to include the weight of the clothes Aston was wearing at the time, I suppose.
Cracking! God, there should have been 3!
So much for safety first. 3 must be for the safest third. This fucker's a loony. Another fatal injury, you say? That doesn't make any sense. I don't think I have to spell this out here, but here we go. Just because there were 2 fatal wounds doesn't mean I'm saying the victim had 2 lives to lose, does it? Too right. Obviously, at first we thought the bloke had died due to his spine snapping in half as well. But you're saying that's not the case? You'll get your answers once I finish my fish and chips, if you don't keep butting in every few seconds. But we all know that's a bottomless back. I appreciate the game calling itself out. The victim plummeted 30 feet to the glass tower. It would be reasonable to assume that the cause of death. Right, that's what we thought, but it was a red herring, wasn't it? Oh. The defense knew nothing of this crucial information. The prosecution received the report from the forensic investigation team only this morning. That was the first we knew of it as well. You get your answers when I finish my fish and chips. I respect that heavily. Same here, Ethan. Same here. There's no fish, only chips, says Chip. That was the first we knew of it as well. I can only apologize for the impossibility of informing the defense. Sarcastic and insincere. Thanks. What's the nature of this sharp object? Among the accused tools that were used in the demonstration, one is of particular interest. This.
Ah! There he is. My trusty little companion, Andrew!
Oh, okay. Andrew, of course.
Ah, do you know each other already? He's one of my dear friends, like all my tools.
There's napkin, Penny.
The whole gang's here, guys. The whole gang's here.
I named them all, you know. We're one big happy family. Andrew's my flathead screwdriver, of course. His brother Michael is a crosshead.
Ah, that isn't. It's blood. Beyond all reasonable doubt. No. He's just like, yes, my screwdriver. It has blood, yes. And that's not all.
Like, if I saw this guy, I would also be like,
yeah. The long, sharp shape of this Andrew fellow is completely consistent with the victim's wound.
What?
So one of the Professor's harebrain's tools is the murder weapon. Great. Let's take a look at this tool real quick. Yeah, it's got some rust on it.
How funny would it be if there was nothing here and that was just the contradiction? It's just like, oh, my bad. Case
Shit.
dismissed.
Yeah, shit, my bad, dude. This is blood, Mr. Assman's, no doubt. This is the problem with looking at murder weapons. They show how people are murdered. Hairbrain, wow, Andrew's making friends with the attorney. Who could have known? I've seen this unusually shaped handle before. It's the same screwdriver that was lodged in the grill on the floor of the kinesis machine, which could be important information, so I should definitely make a note of it. Oh, I could look at this now for me. Looks like layers of thick canvas with thick rubber lining of sorts. I've never seen anything like it before. But applying Mr. Sholmes' methods, you might deduce it was part of a raincoat worn by someone who was really didn't want to get wet. And charring must have been from a person who was struck by lightning. Or maybe not. Or maybe from a hot air balloon. But I believe in you. You'll get it. Looks like a crossbow. I'm not gonna lie. That is a crossbow. What the fuck? This is a crossbow. This is a fucking crossbow. Katie, this is a crossbow. Do you understand me, Katie?
No.
Ah, there's some sort
Impossible.
of lever here.
Impossible.
What is this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun.
I've never seen such a thing in my life.
I don't know if crossbows were used in Japan, actually. I think it's probably used for the same thing, too. Crossbows are kind of cool, though. I would love to shoot one Monday. That'd be dope as shit, actually.
Have you ever shot a regular bow?
Yeah. I shot a normal bow a few times. Never shot a crossbow, though. Like, so I actually have a scar on my hand. On my, my left hand. That, what happened was my friend had a crossbow back in high school. I had a normal bow back in high school. And I'm like, oh, can I use it? And she's like, yeah, sure, go for it. Give it a shot. And we went to her backyard. We set up a target and everything. The problem was that 2 of her arrows were not the right size for the bow. So as I pulled it back, it didn't stay notched on the side of the wood. Instead, it just kind of went back, turned to the left, and shot into my own hand.
Ooh.
It was something, all right.
Ouchie.
Yeah, so it didn't actually pierce because it was a short arrow on a short bow, and I basically just like got really painful and a small scar for like breaking the skin essentially, and that's about it. But I'd like to shoot a crossbow one day. I think that'd be really fun. I shot guns, I shot bows, I could shoot a crossbow. I'm gonna see if I missed anything on this thing. Can we wind it up? Looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. You must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of force in this device then. I would imagine it's far more accurate and more powerful than the Japanese longbow. Ugh, I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this at the exhibition grounds. Do you think it's legal to carry a crossbow with you?
Probably, I don't know, probably not. I don't know. I don't know. Is it legal to carry like a regular bow with you?
It's legal to carry a gun.
Only in some places.
Yeah. No. All right, hold on. I'm curious now. Does open carry apply to crossbows? A crossbow is not considered a legal hunting weapon and may be used by all licensed hunters anytime. Bow and arrow hunting is allowed in Wilmington Star News. It seems to be considered just a hunting weapon at this point. Are crossbows allowed in the U.S.? Most states that allow concealed carry or open carry do not allow crossbows because they're considered dangerous weapons. But the AR-15s on our backs are A-okay. That is such bullshit. What the fuck? This groove here must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. So I was right, a sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. To be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with a bowstring 2 out of 3 times.
How are you catching your ear with the bowstring?
He's using a Japanese longbow. Those things are fucking massive.
I guess maybe where you're supposed to draw to might be different for a longbow. I don't know.
Well,
Because with a regular bow, you're supposed to like bring it to like the corner of your mouth, which would mean that it can't possibly clip your ear.
yeah, but a Japanese longbow is like fucking massive. Like, hold on.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to remember it.
Japanese longbow is about 2 meters in length. That's
Okay, but
taller than me.
so you do pull it past there. Okay.
Yeah. So like, if you're pulling it like that, the string's gonna be behind your head and it's gonna go flap right on your ear. That's massive. Holy shit. Bow size chart. I'm curious how big bows are across the world. So historical. Hold on. Not just for D&D reference, but you know. There's the American Indian bow, the medieval crossbow, the Egyptian bow, the Asiatic bow, the English longbow. It doesn't have any of the sizes on here. That's great. Thanks. Oh, here we are. Nope. You know, I'm gonna find this another time because I need to find out all this other stuff now. Oh wow, there's a lot of bows. That's not the right bow. We're talking about the weapon bow, not the hair bow. Okay. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have beaten Cosmo in Kyoto archery training. Nah, he had the power of God and enemy on the side, dude. You would have still been screwed. I'm gonna be honest, bud. I can just present right here and put out the crossbow. Oh, wrong button. I'm gonna press G. We're gonna save, because I'm a coward. And we're gonna present a crossbow. Fuck! That last statement will seem to be. Oh, I haven't even entered this into the court record yet, technically, have I? Probably gotta press him. What grounds do you have for saying that?
You really need to ask. And there were only 2 people on the public experimentation in front of the whole crowd.
The victim, Mr. Odie Assman, and the accused, Professor Hairbrain. And we know for certain before the experiment the victim was alive. Okay, Thomas Edison. Furthermore, following the explosion and kinesis, nobody went anywhere near the body. In other words, only someone on stage with the victim could have done it.
Excuse me.
See you later, Chip. You have a good one, bud. Professor Hairbrain, do you have any more information that might be relevant here? Professor!
I am sorry, so sorry.
I'm calculating the optimal coefficient of the electricity of every molecule of the human body. And the witness stand is the best place for that? Well, it seems you might have something to say. I thought about Inspector Gretchen's last remarks.
Yes. Yeah, that's right, of course. He just said that nobody else could have done it, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. What else could have stabbed the victim, eh?
I don't know, but... So I could have possibly stabbed Mr. Assman, you say?
Explain, please, Professor.
Of course, the cold-hearted policeman may not be aware, I'm supposed. But humans are warm-blooded mammals with blood continuously running through their veins. I added. And surely you see, if I had plunged something the size of Andrew in that man's chest, the whole stage would have been a blood bath. No, a blood swimming pool. Ah. The fellow Londoners were watching me at the time. And yet none of them claims to have seen a swimming pool of blood. Well, no, I suppose not. It's like, you kind of got a point, but I just don't like your attitude. You see, not one. True, I don't sure if I like that.
Well done, Professor. That was a great counter-argument. Oh, that wasn't a lot. Pray forgive the discourtesy if I savor a drop from my hollow chalice to accompany my old friend's Aduking. Here's to you, Albert.
Ah, you're too kind, Barrack. I'm not really a patch on you.
You fool! No, you're not.
No?
You neglected to mention one crucial possibility.
I have?
A particular situation in which very little bleeding would result from a stab wound.
Yeah, of course.
Inspector, a light to the court, please.
Yes, sir.
Where are they going with this? No, it's not how that happened. I know that, like, oh my god, how many times do we go through this exact meme ourselves, Katie? Like, not only like D&D and Ace Attorney and everything, but like we go through this meme a lot, I feel like. I feel like this is a meme that we hit a lot, where it's just like, the weapon was inside the body, therefore the blood is like, you can't take the blood out. Like, I think we just went through that in our last D&D game, actually.
I don't remember. Weird of you to call it a meme.
It is a bit of a meme, though. It's like the fingerprints of the gun.
Oh boy.
Why would you think that, Inspector?
Now, with any wound, it's only when you pull out the weapon that the profuse bleeding occurs. While still lodged in the body, it acts as a stopper for sorts, for want of a better word.
I see. You don't need a medical degree to be aware of this fact. It's common knowledge for any investigator. Where's Susata-san when you need her?
If you ask me, this bloke masked what he was doing from the view with his body before stabbing Ass Man in the chest. Then he beamed the victim off stage with his fancy device, screwdriver still where he planted it. I would never do such a thing, not my precious tools. I would never use them for this dirty work. You only use tools for their intended purpose. That's common knowledge for any scientist.
The fact remains the lack of blood at the scene can easily be explained, as the prosecution has demonstrated. So that's all the testimony I have to work with. I had no idea the victim had been stabbed. That changes everything. Did Van Zees keep that to himself to on purpose to gain advantage? Oh well, I suppose I'll have to press the witness some more information as possible. Get to the last one. We're gonna present Andrew. It should be called Andrew on the top, that's all I'm saying.
Objection.
You say that the weapon remains in the body, there's very little bleeding. Is that unequivocal?
Look, there was no blood on the experimentation stage, even though that's where the fellow was stabbed. The only explanation for that is that the screwdriver was still in his body, stopping any heavy bleeding.
It's common medical knowledge, my learned friend, even on your side of the world. Yes, but about the screwdriver. The thing is, we actually saw it on the scene ourselves, on the experimentation stage. What?
Gregson, you dumb idiot.
We were literally there together, bud. We saw this thing together.
Gregson, did you really think you could pull one over on us?
I know, right? You sweet summer child. You fool. It was on the...
Like, did you forget, Gregson?
We were together, bud. He tried. He failed. It was on the floor of the wreckage of the machine, poking through the metal grill. I went to pick it up, but the detective here stopped me. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Well, now that you come to mention it, yes.
How
Inspector, are we to understand that you permitted the defense counsel to investigate? That you contravened the special Suspension of Scientific Equipment Act. No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. I just let him look, nothing more. It was very clear he wanted to touch a thing. Yes, that is true. The screwdriver was in plain sight on the stage. But it shouldn't have been, should it? What are you getting at? If this tool had been in the victim's body when the victim was beamed away by the machine, then it shouldn't have been on the stage. That's right, it should have been beamed across the Crystal Tower along with Mr. Assman. And been found still lodged in the victim's chest. I don't know. It looks as though everything the victim had on his It looks as though everything that the victim had on his person moved with him when he beamed. If the screwdriver was still in his chest when the instantaneous kinesis occurred, obviously it should have been beamed to the destination as well. Ew. This is a strange situation. Even though people are saying that this instantaneous kinesis is scientifically possible, they're still basing the arguments on the assumption that it actually did take place. Alright, time to lighten the screws here. My lord, the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in its arguments. The only conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied on. Lord Van Zeeks is stumped. No! You fucking bitch man McGee!
This is why you don't let defendants talk in court cases.
I hate this guy so much.
Yes, I knew it. It bears out. The equations hold. It's an error, don't worry!
About what?
Without delving into the details, there is no inconsistency.
No, don't say that!
What? You have entered been lodged in Mr. Andrews' chest. My trusty tool would have moved, and you're remaining on the stage considering my calculations.
What? What?
You dumb fuck.
You fucking idiot. I can't even blame Naruto for this one. My learned friend is actually the fucking smart one for once. It would seem your illusion has been shattered. Clearly, we should hear the accused's explanation. Or should I say, this brilliant scientist's explanation. Just when I found an inconsistency in the prosecution's argument. Scientists.
In the name of Apollo, I will, my lord.
In the name of Apollo? You good, bud? Getting a little new age on us.
To be clear, I'm still on the stage gathering data in the Friesian field. My hypothesis states that the kinesis cannot transport metal, though. Hence the...
Like his glasses. The metal in his glasses. The metal on his buttons, maybe? Metal on his buckles, perhaps? I'm sick of this guy, Katie. I want him to go to jail now.
Hang in there, Steph.
I'm sick of him. I want him to go to jail. He deserves it at this point, honestly.
In other words, the point just raised by Mr. Naruto isn't anything consistency at all. This Rasman was the patron of my research. Without him, my work wouldn't have been possible. How did he protect the incredible machine that we built together?
By making it impossible to protect it. That's great.
Guilty.
Based upon this hypothesis, metal objects cannot be moved by the method of instantaneous kinesis. Wait, did the birdcage move?
No.
In other words, since the screwdriver is made of metal, it remains lodged in the victim's chest. Subsequent discovery of the stage the victim was found elsewhere is not an inconsistency. Therefore, Professor Albert Herdbrain could still be the killer. I hate this guy. He's worse than Shamspeare in some ways. Because look at this asshole. Celebrating the fact he just implicated himself in more murder. Like, come on, dude.
Wait, you gotta make the cage.
Baroque, am I helping?
Gotta make the cage used to.
Oh, there he goes.
Fuck off.
It's like they realized. It's like they did like beta testing, and a bunch of people were like the cage, and they're like, "Fuck, okay, hold on."
Hold on, let's fucking like say that the cage was made of wood. Even though I could have sworn it clanged like metal in the fucking like opening of the fucking case. Like I could have sworn it clanged like metal. Professor Hairbrain?
Yes.
Whose side are you on here?
I don't think so, Mr. Naruto. No. My only interest lies in upholding my hypothesis. I'm a scientist after all.
If I die, I die.
I'll just give away all my secrets. It's working for us or against us. It's very hard to tell. Let's see how do you cross-examine this testimony, my Nipponese friend.
Yeah, fire away, Mr. Naruto.
That's my patience. Give scientists some bad names. And yet you retort my argument wasn't lacking in confidence in any way.
No scientist can find the trust without first finding the self-belief. Those are the words of certain scientists I hold to the highest esteem.
But you realize that disproving my argument puts you at a very precarious position, don't you?
No scientist strives to protect himself more than he strives to protect the truth.
War was the same great scientist, you know. Words that are causing me a lot of trouble. Who is a scientist?
I'm afraid I couldn't tell you, Mr. Naruto. Fuck you. But as soon as I do remember the magnificent genius's name, you'll be the first to know.
Can you look up the fucking quotes, see if they're real?
Look up what?
Can you look up the quotes to see if they're real?
The who?
The quotes. So, no scientist tries to protect himself more than he tries to protect the truth. If that's a real quote.
Oh, quote. Okay.
want it to be like from someone who isn't a scientist at all. Like I want it to be from like.
The first result is Albert Harebrained.
Fantastic. All right, he's quoting himself. That's great. It'd be worth keeping the names of your idols in mind. You're wasting your breath, my learned friend. This scatterbrain even forgets my names at times. So Lord Seeks really did have a friend once, but I didn't notice hell freezing over. Your hypothesis states it. So this isn't proven then.
No, of course not. It's merely a hypothesis, but a good one based upon thousands of calculations. We widely know that metals can't be decomposed by electrolysis. Yes, of course, so I am right. My hypothesis is clearly correct.
What is this about incriminating himself that makes this man so happy?
It's all reason the birdcage is made of wood, you see.
Sorry, the birdcage?
Yeah, that's what I call this. The sea oblong cage which Mr. Ashman was placing for the kinesis.
I think about not to refer to as an instrument of incarceration, your lordship. In short, any weapon lodged in the victims when they'd been beamed away by instantaneous kinesis would have been left behind on stage if it were made of metal, correct?
Yeah, fix yourself with the mathematical one.
Someone beat me out of this nightmare. Like Scotty. Scotty beat me out of this nightmare. You seem to be pleased by that.
Yeah, I hear my father's holding true. There's some sarcasm, Mr. Are you not pleased?
No.
I know it. Yeah, damn, the one role responsible for Mr. Ashman losing his life. The advancement of the science is no issues, I know it!
No, you're quite right. It was your fault.
Oh, well, no, not really. I mean, I only met him 2 or 3 times. We were only able to discuss my hypothesis on the project. And the research grant, of course.
How'd you have to know Mr. Ashman in the first place? What? That is a tiny science journal. That is a fucking minute. That's literally a tiny science journal. What the fuck? It's cute, but also like I thought he had a trading card for a second.
Does look like a trading card.
Here you go. It's all original journal work. I might have an extraordinary hypothesis and great promise, but at the time I had no money. I had to eat tiny little meals in a tiny little cafe and drink down water out of my tiny little glass. But Mr. Ashman read the paper and came to visit me at my tiny little laboratory.
And offered you money to help fund your work.
Exactly, that's exactly what happened. I handled the theoretical side of things, and Mr. Ashman provided me with an engineer for the practical. And the 3 of us produced a fantastic machine together.
The machine you brought to the Great Exhibition to demonstrate.
We had to apply to the government for some sort of inspection to be allowed to exhibit, I think. You understand all that side of thing, Mr. Ashman took care of it all. He was a wonderful man, really, I owe him everything.
When you say that you built the machine together, does that mean that you were involved in this construction?
Yeah! Well, not exactly. I'm not good with practical side of machines myself, so the physical construction was done by an engineer.
Little remains of your creation now, though. Following the explosion, the repair will no doubt be impossible.
Yeah, I realize that, but still. If someone were to gather all the broken parts, they could discover the secrets of my hypothesis. But Mr. Ashman now told us over this machine and we put our hearts and souls into it. I have to protect our work. So what's the machine must be kept safe. It's only fair because that's what happened by an accident.
That's the extent of the testimony then. Thank goodness for that. I don't want him doing any more damage. He's already basically proven that he could have been the culprit. It seems as though he really cares about is defending his hypothesis. Still, I wonder, what if his hypothesis is just fundamentally flawed? I need to prove he transported metal. Therefore, I'm going to show the picture of the guy in his glasses. I think that's like my best option here. What do you think?
No, I can't say.
Yeah, I got it. Professor Hairbrain, you say that according to your hypothesis, nothing made of metal can be beamed by instantaneous kinesis using the machine you made. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Stop on. Exactly.
In that case, I'd ask you to have a look at this photograph that was taken at the scene. In particular, I'd like you to pay attention to the victim's face. You can see that Mr. Assman is wearing a pair of spectacles with metal rim.
What? Metal? No! Metal can't. That's not... Metal? No!
I've already established that the proposed murder weapon, the screwdriver, was found on stage. However, if your hypothesis correctly predicted that the outcome, it should have also predicted the metal rimmed spectacles would be found in the same place.
Ah! My hypothesis! My hypothesis! No!
Katie, I hate this man.
Hang in there, be strong.
I want to interview someone else. Professor Hairbrain, this isn't easy for me to say, but your hypothesis is absolutely fucking shit, my dude. Can you just shut the fuck up and let me do my job? You mirror bee wannabe. If on the day in question, all the alleged instantaneous kinesis never actually took place, it's entirely possible the victim was killed somewhere other than on the stage. And in that case, someone other than the defendant could have been the culprit.
But my hypothesis! I killed him! I murdered him! I took my screwdriver and stabbed it into his chest!
I can say something here in the society.
As a man of science, there's one thing I simply cannot abide. That's a fraud who pretends to be a fellow man of science.
What? Wait! Great Scott! Are you using me as a suspect? Are you saying I'm a sussy baka juror number 4?
Yes, this is the same happening. I believe the whole damn session was complete nonsense from start to finish. We apologize, and I tell you that this man is here members of his fraud.
I say records of the machine should be stripped down and thoroughly examined.
No, never! That machine is the actions of my entire hypothesis. It's protected by the special dispensation. I don't fucking care about you anymore. Ah, come on! What the devil is a bus all about? Who the fuck is that fool?
I don't like the way this seems to be going. What's the best way for me to help the professor? Professor Hairbrain has yet to perfect his invention. That would seem to be the case, yes. But even so, what? Going to such a trouble and expense of creating a fake machine to display in public, he would have absolutely no reason to do such a thing. He had an obvious reason to do exactly that. For the research grant money. If the government forced us to deem this man's not impossible, he and his conspirators would have received a handsome sum indeed.
Conspirators?
What would be the value of such a grant? 10 pounds?
You're an order of magnitude out, madam. 500 pounds a year.
Ooh, y'all could live ransom on that much for years.
Society noticed an increase in bogus public demonstrations in the field of science recently. He's just taking the same liquid from fucking beaker to beaker. How did it change color? There was nothing to change its color. There was no reaction going on. It was the same fucking liquid from one vial to another. He's like,
maybe it's interacting with oxygen.
then how did it change again? It changed from purple to yellow to blue. What color is it going to change to next? Hold on. I'm sorry. Is that the same purple that we've had before?
Yeah.
I think so. Really, they only put 3 colors in? The cowards. The cowards. They decided to do some bullshit science thing in front of me, a scientist. We have real life, we have real in-game scientists shitting on fake in-game scientists being shat on by real out-of-life scientists.
People's really fighting over this whole matter. I assure you.
No, I haven't deceived anyone, least of all the government. My hypothesis is yada yada yada.
No matter how unbelievable this hypothesis may seem to you, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that the remains of the victim was transported instantly to the Crystal Tower, which means that the experiment was a success.
Ah!
And therefore, the only person who could possibly committed this murder is the accused.
Ah.
Where is this headed? I have no idea. My lord, if I may.
Oh.
The prosecution would like to summon new witnesses to the stand. There were the spectators of the demonstration at the exhibition who were occupying special seats. Eyewitnesses. The prosecution stance is clear. The experiment was no Porsche. The accused killed the financier victim there on the public stage before the very set of eyes of spectators. Now, my learned friend. Yes? It's time for you to make your own stance clear. There's clearly a flaw in the professor's hypothesis. I can definitely see that. But where does that leave me? I think it's actually all bogus. As you wish, my lord. I'm sick of this. I'm so glad it's 10 o'clock right now. Katie, you didn't tell me that people were gonna get worse than Shakespeare, but for different reasons. Like, you didn't tell me people would get worse in this game. I could deal with all the bullshit in 90% of the Ace Attorney original trilogy. I could deal with every other character in this duo. But these last two, Katie, you're testing my patience, Katie.
I don't know. I do feel like some of the characters in Big Top were worse.
Yeah.
Like whether or not you found them more annoying, they were just worse objectively.
No. There were characters that were objectively worse. Let me put it like this. There were characters that were horrible in Big Top. 100%. Yep. These are the most annoying. These are the ones I want to strangle the most. The other ones, throw them in jail. They deserve jail time. Fucking make them never see the light of day. Case closed. Bada bing, bada boom. The end.
Including Mo.
Including Mo? Nah. I could deal with Mo better than I could deal with this scientist guy. At least Mo wasn't like, oh yeah, and by the way, I threw my horn out, which was a knife, and I, you know, fucking stabbed the guy in the back because of her fun.
No, but he was like cracking jokes in the middle of a murder trial.
listen, it's all for good fun. That I would do. I would crack jokes in the middle of a murder trial. Well, you know what I would not do? I would not say, yeah, the prosecution's right. I could have killed this guy. No problem.
What if you're besties with the prosecution?
If I besties with the prosecution, then I'm fucked because the prosecution has a lot more on me than just this. Wait, what would they have on me?
Yeah, what? Are you sure you wouldn't implicate yourself, Steph?
What have I done in my life? The prosecution can be like, this is a bad character. Like, I've played Senran Kagura. I've watched anime. That's pretty bad. You know, I once held hands with someone. That was pretty bad. That's public indecency right there. Yeah, they'd get me for that one. They get me for that one. Anyways, guys. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much for watching this on YouTube. I hope you all enjoyed the VOD. If you did, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And y'all stay safe and stay Botanist Cool. See you later, YouTube.
See you guys.